Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is Isaac, and today I'm going to help you assemble your portable quick adjust basketball system with the 48-inch Fusion backboard. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your system is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that comes with your basketball system. So if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There are steps in this assembly that require 2 people, so make sure you have at least one other adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. Also, you may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be careful not to over-torque or over-tighten the hardware. Depending on how you decide to fill the base of your basketball system, you'll also need 319 pounds of sand and a funnel or a hose connected to a water source. This video is meant to be a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement. So for the best results, have the assembly manual on hand as you complete the build. It is also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions of this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. All right, let's get started. Take the top pole, which is the shortest of the poles, and slide it on top of the middle pole, which is the one with the warning label, making sure this hole at the bottom of the top pole lines up with the slit at the top of the middle pole. Insert the hardware into the hole. It's normal if it spins freely, just make sure that it's flush. Repeat the previous steps, sliding the bottom pole into the middle pole. Using these caps, plug the holes on the middle pole. Make sure that you've completed the previous steps properly, otherwise it'll be extremely difficult to separate the poles after this next step. We're going to seat the poles together by striking each end 5 or 6 times on a piece of scrap wood or cardboard. You will have to use some force, so be careful around your toes. The goal of this step is to cover the slits on each pole. If you're unable to cover the slits, continue seating the poles. Otherwise, do not continue and call customer service. It's important that you complete this step properly, otherwise the poles could separate during use, causing serious injury or property damage. Attach the flat end of the pole brace to the base, making sure the angled end is oriented like this. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Repeat on the other side, making sure it's oriented like this. Insert the long axle into the hole at the bottom of the bottom pole. Then add the wheels. Then the black spacers. On the hole just above the wheels, add the short axle. With the hardware on the pole facing up, lay the base onto the long axle, making sure it rests in these notches. Make sure the long axle is seated into place by stepping on the base. Rotate the pole assembly up so the small axle rests in this recess. Line the holes in the pull braces with the hole in the pull, then secure the hardware. The bolt may seem like it's too short, but the nut will catch it on the inside. Lay the system down on its side and don't send it up until it's proper weight in the base. Now go back and tighten the hardware on the base. Slide the U-bolt into these holes on the backboard bracket, making sure it rests in these notches. Take the inner guard and fold it like so. Then place in between the backboard brackets. Make sure that the holes in the middle of the inner guard line up with hole number 1. Then place the spacer in the middle of the inner guard and add the hardware. Then insert the bolt with the spacer into this hole just underneath the larger one. Add the rim support channel, oriented like this, to this recess on the back of the backboard. Then insert the U-bolt through the oblong holes just above. Take a bolt, add a washer, add a rubber washer, then insert the bolt through the oblong hole on the front side of the rim. Then secure the T-nut oriented like this. When tightening this hardware, make sure the bolts rest on the outer edge of the oblong holes and the rubber washers only bulge slightly. Place the rim on the front of the backboard, making sure these bolts go through the rim support channel and backboard brackets, and the U-bolt goes through the larger holes. Add the nuts to the bolts on the back of the backboard, and when tightening, make sure to have a wrench on the head of the bolt. Now flip the backboard over. Add the jam nuts all the way down the threads of the U-bolt. Then add the compression springs. Add the retainer plate oriented like this, then secure the nuts. Only tighten until the rim doesn't wobble. Flip the backboard back over. Bend the backboard brackets by hand until the holes line up with these holes in the backboard. Then secure the hardware. Be careful not to over-tighten this hardware. To make this step easier, use the threads at the end of the bolt to clear out the excess powder coating in the holes of the backboard brackets. Then add a pair of extension arms to these holes on the backboard brackets, making sure the two holes that are close together go away from the backboard. When adding the hardware, make sure a spacer goes in between the backboard brackets and the arm. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Fold the flaps of the outer guard like this. Then place the adjustment latch into the outer guard like this. Place the outer guard and latch in between the backboard brackets, making sure the inner guard rests in between the outer guard and latch. Line up all the holes, then secure the hardware, making sure the extension arms and spacers are on the outside of the backboard brackets. Also, make sure that the two holes that are close together on the extension arms are away from the backboard. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Rotate the outer guard and latch up so this slit lines up with these holes on the upper extension arms. Then secure the hardware. Line up this hole in the pole with these holes in the lower extension arms, making sure to add a spacer in between the pole and the extension arm. Attach the upper extension arms to the pole using the same method as before. You will need someone to lift the base to get the holes to line up. Now go back and tighten all the hardware on the extension arms, making sure the end of the bolt is flush with the nut. The next steps go over how to fill the base of your basketball system. Click on this link here to see a video, or refer to your manual in section 5 to see how to do this properly. If you have additional questions about filling the base of your basketball system, please feel free to reach out to the customer service team at the number below. We've already filled the base of this system, so we're going to move on to the next step. Now remove the plastic film from the backboard. Now attach the net to the rim by threading the large loops onto the hooks. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime, portable, quick adjust basketball system with a 48-inch Fusion backboard. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other amazing products at lifetime.com.